big wins for small gyms. In this session, we're going to look at strategies that will help you compete with big box gyms without big budget marketing. Now, if you've not met already, there's a thank you request that you've done for the some points out for the cash off. I'm Ellen House, I'm the founder and managing director of Quality Marketing. We are a specialist sports and fitness marketing agency based in Lincolnshire with a national portfolio of clients. So some of our clients you'll see on the board behind me. Now, much like you guys, we're a small outfit competing with often very big brand agencies. So this is something that I understand, trust me, I get this. But in years of operating Coffee & Boo, we're small manufacturing superpower. It means that you're more personable, it means that you're more agile, and it means that you're more creative. Now today with me, we've got Katie Lambert, who's our marketing relationship manager, and we've got Danny Roberts, who is our social and digital content marketing manager. Now we're talking about being agile. You'll notice there's only two of us on the stage, because Danny's actually also holding the camera down here at the front. So we definitely need an example. Now in this session, we're going to look at how to build a strong brand identity. I'm then going to hand over to Katie, who's going to keep it real with content creation. Danny's going to talk faking it with AI, and then back to me to look at how we leverage your digital marketing or sort of paid advertising without breaking the bank. So do stick with us throughout. Now, if you forget everything I say, that's fine, but remember the three C's, okay? Consistency, creativity, and communication. What we do with three C's. Hopefully, if I've done my job right, you'll leave here feeling a bit confused, and think, you know what, I'm going to smash my social media, I've got this. You've got to keep that consistency. If you drop off after a week, everyone's going to switch off. It's about creating that reliable stream of content for your members. Creativity, we've got to stop the scroll, and also it's about connection. Forget about what everyone else is doing, forget about what the gyms are doing, or the big guys are doing. It's about connecting your members and making sure it's relevant to them. Okay, so let's dive straight in. Because scary fact of the day, it's only 6 weeks until January, literally 6 weeks. Now that is terrifying. But January brings with it one of the biggest marketing opportunities of the year. It's that time where as marketeers, we have to think of 1,000 different ways of saying new year, without saying new year. Now I've been doing this for 25 years and I'm still managing to find new ways. And my main advice to you is do not lead with a sales message. As soon as you say join now, so the image on the right, behind us you probably see the image on the right, the dark one, you turn people off. You might think you're doing the right thing when giving them a kick of the bum, but it's just leading with sales. Now it takes 7 touch points on average for people to convert. And if you lead with sales, you're not creating and nurturing that relationship with your will-be members. The best way of doing it is one of two ways. You either need to position yourself as a solution to someone's problem. So the example in the bottom left for the gym group, it says, we're here to help you get there. This is really well executed. It's an oldie, it's good, it's about 2021 maybe this one. Because what it's doing is it's acknowledging in January, everybody's got something to do this year. They might want to get married, they might want to go on holiday, they may just want to compete in professional sport. Like it's basically saying, you invest in us, we'll get you to where you want to be. It's touching on that whole reward and reciprocity. And it's real, it's relatable. This is a real person. We're wearing real clothes. Yes, it's aspirational, but it's achievable as well. And then the brand is really executed really well. You can see it in the iconology, you can see it in the logos, you can see it in the colour palette. The other way of doing it is through what I call value exchange. So again, the gym group, I'm a big fan of the gym group. We've all got a gym face. This makes people laugh. It gets that reaction. So you either need to educate your audience or you need to entertain them. So by educating them, what statistics, what facts can you share to give them that insight? Something that you're going to go home and tell your partner, it makes you think that because it sticks and resonates. Or can you make them laugh? It's like those really annoying gym teachers. They're annoying, but they resonate, you remember them. This is perfect. It gives you that social proof. We've all got gym faces, people like to do that. Because let's be honest, if you're smiling in the gym, you're not trying hard enough. I don't know anyone that actually naturally smiles in the gym. So yeah, it's about breaking barriers and keeping it real. Join now on the brand has got a very polished person, a very strong creative. And I see that at a family presenter, and I don't look like that. I can't go there. So just really keep it real, stay true to who you are and your needs. But much like a dog is for life, not just Christmas, and I say that having a little puppies at home, who will unfortunately be there at Christmas, your brand is a 365 days a year process. It's not just January. So yes, it's Christmas, and everyone's kept us for a Christmas tree, make everything green, red, and black and gold. Don't. Because actually, in the new year, it's your time, you're going to reach the most people. You're going to reach the biggest audience, and your brand is going to be there strong throughout. So if your brand is naturally blue, don't change it. It's like the first thing you should do. But also to make sure you know your audience. So what's important to them? What's their goals? What's their aspirations? What age are you talking to? What's their lifestyle? And that positioning. The positioning is really important. So like I said before, don't just focus on what everyone else is doing. What's your value proposition? Do you want to see the community first? Do you want to be results driven? Are you affordable? None of these are wrong, but you just need to show it. If you just say join now, it's not telling anyone what your value proposition is. You're going to be clear in your marketing, what your offer is, what's in for them. Because as soon as I saw join now, I was like, what's in it for me? You've got to make it really clear what you're going to get, because that value is straight. Okay, and content. We'll pass this case to support this content, but if you can only do more busy content, if you're busy, busy lifestyle, do short form video. Short form video is absolutely key. But don't just focus on fitness. Focus on wellness. There's a massive difference in wellness and fitness industry. So we need to be showing more than just workouts and effects. We need to be showing about nutrition. We need to be showing about injury prevention, about recovery. And let's be honest, January is the motivation month, motivation hacks. How you can get out there. If you can lead the new year with aspiration, encouragement stuff, you're going to win a lot of favours. Now, your marketing channels, I know, they're also sales channels. But your audience can't know that. I think too often people go with sales messages, like 20% off and all this. But that only works if they've already had other messaging from you, all the importance of your brand and what you're about. So focus more on creating that community connects, very tailored, personalised messaging. And you need the sales stuff further down the line, they've already signed up, they've already invested, they've already kind of got that desire to learn a bit more. I'm not having to pay me, because it tells us exactly how to create that emotional connection. Thank you. And first of all, I'm going to try and show you a couple of videos which I'm hoping you're going to play. And these are both short form videos. I just want you to think while you're watching them about what message is coming across to you, how they make you feel, and what that brand is trying to sell you without selling you.
My name is Alan Seatonfield. I'm 76 years old and I've been a member of this gym since day 18. I was a very active man, but because of my eyes, it's slowly getting. It's not going to beat me. I told, I just want to be well. I find that being in the gym keeps me going, if you understand what I mean. I can get up with a purpose. I'm going somewhere. I'm going to the gym. I've never seen a lockdown in this country in my life. And to not be able to do anything in respect to doing exercises is a killer. The feeling being in this gym, it's a wonderful feeling. You can see on my face I'm a happy person when I come in here. I just love it.
One and then show you the second one, but I just want to think about what did Alan talk about in that video? Did he talk about at any point being strong, fitness, cardiovascular, anything like that? He didn't. He talked about how he felt and what the gym makes him feel and what it does to his life as a whole, rather than just one aspect of his life. And I think we're going to see that again. I really like this next one that I took from Instagram, because again, it's a gym connecting and it's telling a story.
Morning team, just catching up with some of the members on the gym floor about their experience at March from Halfman. Take a look at what they said.
What about you? What about you?
I think I just called a really weird face.
You did.
Right, so same as usual. That's 3 years, I think. 2 years, just in 2 years.
7 years, I think. 7 years, yeah.
I used to train with no purpose, and I wanted structure, so I trained well and had kids, and I needed to put my body back together. I just needed to have something that was mine and mine only, and not something that the children could get involved in, but also for my mental health, so like lots of different reasons.
So I played like team sport football when I was younger, got injured, kind of got old, fell out of that, and running I didn't really enjoy, so I needed to do something to be kind of a bit fitter and stronger. And someone told me about martial art, and the fact that it was group training, a bit like pre-season football, there's a few lads, a bit of a laugh. So I came along and tried it, and well, 7 years of coming, that's testament.
I'm not going to show the whole of that video, but hopefully again that gave you the messaging that I'm trying to say you need to be putting across to your customers or your potential customers. Again, there was mentions of getting fitter and stronger in there, but the main motivation that most of those people spoke about was community, was the change it makes their lives, having their own time, having their own space. And so what I want to tell you is, when you're trying to communicate, and as Emma said, yes, it's your sales pitch, but it mustn't sound like that. And also, what are you trying to sell to your customers? If you're just trying to sell, get fitter, get stronger, or we've got a really good offer for you and it's a really good deal, you're not going to get people out and take you up. If you're trying to sell, then you've got a great community here, and you can come along and you will meet your drive, and you can give something to your life, with mental health. If you're trying to sell that, then you are going to get customers and retain customers. So we've got some pointers here, which I can't put on that screen over there. It's too small for my eyes from here, so I'm going to go through them. So knowing what message you're trying to convey, sit down and have a think about this before you start your social media planning. And what are you trying to get across? Are you trying to get across? You've got a really good group of people here, and you'll be very welcome. Are you trying to get across a particular age group you're aiming at, anything like that? What is it you're trying to say to them? Because if you don't know what your message is, then they won't know what your message is. So it will be too scared to go. So what are you trying to tell your customers without saying, like, essentially? The thing about people whose stories you've enjoyed or felt motivated by, if you're running a business, you're meeting your customers every day, and then you will hear those little stories like Alan's. Think about those people where they've spoken to and said, oh, I had a great day here today because X, Y, Z. They're the ones that you want to share. So grab those little gems. Obviously not everybody's going to want to be on camera, but you'll be surprised how many people are happy to share that story. Because I think we all know, and if anyone was at the talk last night, you'll know that by sharing your story, people share stories back. So it's a really lovely reciprocal thing. The more stories that are shared, the more stories that are shared. Also, don't just choose people like you. I talk about someone like me all the time when I'm talking about marketing. People buy into it when they see someone like me. But if I just go, oh, well, everyone wants to see me on the screen, then I'm not going to talk to anyone else. So think a little bit outside that. Remember to talk to the people you want to come in, not just people like me. So what I'm trying to say is have a really broad range when you're telling stories in your social media. Don't just focus on one group of people. Unless there's one group of people, again, say you've got an OAPs group, fine, focus on an OAPs group. But again, try and get a broad range of people within that. Ask them good questions. As you saw in that second video, the actual gym owner was going around and asking questions to those customers. It can be a good idea, although it's very wonderful, it can be a good idea to say to them beforehand, by the way, these are the questions I'm going to be asking you, so you might want to have a little think about how you answer them. Just saves you time so that they're not just having their go, So ask questions where they won't just answer yes or no. Ask questions that will lead to more questions. So, and ask questions again about feeling. How does it make you feel? What does it do for your life? What does it bring to your life? Taking the time to listen and understand, that's sort of the next phase of that, because you can ask a question and they might answer, and you've got your next question prepared and you move on to it. But their answer might have somewhere you can go differently. It might open up a story. So you might want them to say, I'm going to give the 5 years, because I want people to stay in the gym for a long term. They might say, I think I'm in here for 5 years because, and these are the because that we want to delve into further. So allow, that's good, because people will try and guide where they want, what the story is that they want to tell you. You need to listen out for it and be ready to ask a different question. And finally, how are you going to format all of that? How are you going to get those stories and capture them and then put them out to your audience? That second video I stopped before it finished. Now that's because I'm very aware that people's attention spans are short, very short. It's not because they don't want to hear the story, it's just that they want to hear it quickly. So actually, when you've got a really good story, or you've got lots of good stories, breaking them down into short chunks, as Emma said earlier, short form video. Try and keep things. The first one was a minute long, and I think that's probably as long as you all wanted to watch that for, charming though it was. The second one, lots of quick questions, but perhaps that video could be broken down into those questions, and then you've actually got more content. You've got 3-4 pieces of short video content. You've obviously TikTok, Instagram, and now on YouTube Shorts on there. You can use all of those. But the great thing is, if you are using YouTube as well, you can have that whole longer video there to use as a promotional thing. Think about how you're formatting. Get as much out of those stories as you can. And that brings me to this about the dominance of those shorts. But also my final point, which I'm just going to hammer home once more, and it is about authenticity. It is about listening to the stories and getting them across. And maybe it's about you sharing yours as well. We had a great conversation yesterday with a lady at our stand, who was a gym owner. She began to report to the time. And she said to us, I want to tell my story, but I'm scared. I'm scared that if I tell my story, it opens things up. People might be turned off. And I was standing there going, they won't. They will love to do this because you're a human being. And again, do your customers see you and yourself as human beings, or do they just see you as a face along with kind of a class or something? So you probably opened your business for a reason because you have a passion. Share your passion, and people will buy into that. Tell your stories if you feel comfortable telling, and also your staff members. Again, you might just start as a gym member and decided I love this place and I want to become a staff member. They might have taken qualifications and done training or something. Share those stories with people want to hear it. And don't forget as well, if you've got a website, a great website, get those on there as a blog as well. People can still read. I mostly do because I love writing. So, and I love reading as well. So you can use those stories in lots of ways. So make sure you get that written content out there as well. So, as someone who's sitting here talking about keeping it real, my colleague Danny, back there, yes, he is filming because we need him to film, but he also doesn't like being on stage. So he has pre-recorded some things for us about AI. So this is the bit where you want you to keep it real, but if you want to expand that by using all the tools that are out there today, Danny's going to share these videos and how you can do that.
You spend hours planning social posts. AI does it in seconds. Feed it your key messages, campaigns, and CTAs. Boom. 30 days of strategic content mapped out. No more random posting or message chaos. Just consistent, on-brand content that actually converts. Your social strategy just went from overwhelming to automate it. Ready to let AI handle the heavy lifting?
So, yeah, making a consistent content plan, and I think that's something that Emma touched on earlier, that consistency. It can be great when you get a video out there or a piece of content out there and you get really good engagement, and then you sit back and go, oh, that's great, we've done really well there. And then you don't follow it up with anything because you're waiting for it to keep doing well. But unfortunately, in this world, it won't keep doing well. It won't be that endless, and you need to follow up. And that is where AI can step in, because you can ask it to create that plan for you. So Danny's next top tip about looking professional and standing out on social media.
Your social media is boring. Here's why AI fixes everything. Generate eye-catching graphics in seconds. No design skills needed. Write captions that actually convert with built-in psychology tools. Create weeks of content while you sleep. AI analyzes your best posts and replicates what works. Stop posting into the void. Start posting with purpose. Your followers are waiting for content that doesn't suck.
So again, Danny's telling us how AI can just enhance. It doesn't mean you're not doing work. It doesn't mean your tone goes out of it. But it can just help you sharpen up what you're writing and how you're writing it. Danny's final tip is about monitoring and learning and adapting.
Stop guessing what your audience wants. AI analytics tools like Sprout, Hootsuite, and Agorapods reveal exactly which posts hit and why. Track trending topics before they explode. Spy on competitor strategies that actually work. Your content isn't failing because you're not creative enough. It's failing because you're not strategic enough. Data beats gut feelings every time.
So, this is where I'm gonna battle with Danny a bit here, because I think gut feelings are good as well. So, what we're saying is use AI, but my word of caution at the bottom: AI drives efficiency, human connection drives loyalty. So keep it human. If you read something that AI has produced for you and you think that doesn't sound like us, that's not real, it's okay to pick and choose. It can be more useful for someone that is not for some things. So some people can't write great copy, perhaps they're not great with words. That's where AI can step in. But they're brilliant at creating a brand strategy. Fine. Use it for what you need, don't use it for everything. Don't see it as replacing you and your personality. And I'm going to hand back to Emma here, who's going to.
Sound about Danny, doesn't it? Did anyone actually think that was actually Danny? Yeah, exactly. Sorry, Danny, I knew this was coming. Yeah. That's AI Danny, and like Kate said, we've got to keep it real. I didn't believe that's Danny because I know Danny, but it's robotic.
He's made himself a little bit better looking, I would say.
Yes,
as well. So.
definitely. Every time Danny did a version of this, he looked better than one before. So yeah, I think there is definitely benefits in it, but it is important to be real. You know, if you start to place yourself in the roadmap cop, no one's going to buy into your brand, no one's going to believe it. I mean, as accurate as those tips are, the tips are valid, the person delivering them is helpful. Sorry, Danny, doctor in it. Right, so yeah, pay that. So this is where we talk about making the most of a small budget, how to leverage your digital marketing muscle. Now, I speak to a lot of people about digital ads, and a lot of people have bad experiences where they perhaps invested £200-300, even more, and they've got nothing from it. So the main advice I want to give you, and it sounds a bit strange, is to spread your budget really thinly. Okay? Most people go, don't spread it too thinly because you won't get the returns. Actually, you do it to use a test. So what I'm saying is don't put all your eggs in the basket. I'll say it as a all this chicken right in front of the section. If you put them all in one basket and nothing hatches, you're never going to do that today. And you probably have experience of agencies that do just that. The approach we like to take is put an egg in every single basket. Okay? So don't just have one campaign for New Year, have 3 campaigns. Okay? And in each of those campaigns you've got a different audience. And in each of those campaigns, you've got varied activities. So this isn't just having a static ad, it's having a video ad, it's having a GIF, having an AI app, which is like Robocop, having an ad that responds a sign form embedded, having an ad that's a sign form linked to it, have every single ad possibility. Now, I know it sounds like an awful lot of work, but that's why people outsource this, because it is a lot of work. And that's where you get the best results. So yeah, very creative, really creative on this. We need the short form video that stops the story with big hooks. We need the images that just go, wow, okay, that's cool. Yeah, just try lots of different formats, and also try different audiences. Don't just keep a cold audience, look at the audiences all in range for you. Test it for a warm audience, and then test it for a better audience. So here's one of our ads that we did earlier. This is one of our best performing actually this quarter. So we work with Harvard Maps. They're essentially a small app compared to OS Maps, which that's what we're familiar with. They have a small budget. Now, if I just went out with a boring image of a map, it's not going to excite anyone, it's not going to educate anyone. So we capitalised on Oasis fever. If anyone got to see Oasis, very jealous. But we wanted to make people kind of laugh, really. Because actually, if you're lost in the middle of the Lincolnshire Wolds or wherever, you know, your phone's died, you've got no signal, a map is going to be the only one that's going to save you. You know, it made people chuckle a little bit. Now, this ad got a 400% return on ad spend because it made the most of that trend. So if the client, I'm picking numbers here, they gave us £200, they got £1,000 back. Even taking out our fees, they made money on this, so it was worth doing. Also need to look at your audience. So like I mentioned, don't just stick with a cold audience, look at a warm audience as well. So with each of your campaigns, you may think you know your audience really, really well, but be careful not to define it too much. If you're trying to reach people within 10 miles, that's fine, but don't focus on people who are already interested in fitness. Focus on people that have a variety of interests, because you don't know what they're interested in outside of their day-to-day workout. Also, look at your warm audience, so those people that perhaps already engaged in your ads previously, or perhaps they visited a website, they filled in a sign-up form. Look at how you can insert your data into your audience profiling, and then also look at AI and look at Advantage Plus. So sometimes Meta does unfortunately know best, and it pains me to say that because I'm anti-AI in every way possible because it does me out of a job, but sometimes Meta does know best. Now, this birthday bonanza graphic, I think it's awful, but actually in a recent test just this week, that outperformed some of our more fancy graphics. Now, this got an 8.4 return on investment. So the client spent £90 and they got over £700 back. So what Advantage Plus does is it basically thinks, actually, you think your audience is this, but I'm going to throw these people into that pot as well. You know, so it's definitely worth using. It doesn't cost you any more. It's just about having those 3 different campaign audiences. So you've got the audience you know, the audience that have already engaged, and then you've got the audience that Meta knows. So try all 3, and in each campaign have packs of creatives. Ads, videos, GIFs, Advantage Plus AI, you name it, everything needs to be in those packs. Okay, so video content. We've talked about video a lot. And the funny thing is, a lot of people are confident using video in their social media organically, but when it comes to an ad, everyone suddenly starts putting prices on things and keeping it really flat. Don't use video in your ads as well as you do in your normal marketing. If you're not confident editing it, videoing it, perhaps you're shaky all over the place, a bit like Danny is, you know, walking around, then do bring in the pros, because we can also, not only can we take the video, we can also help you to reach out to influencers in your niche and in your area. When you're looking at micro-influencers, I'm not talking the Beckhams of the world, I'm talking the people who've got a small following, like your 5 to 10,000s. Because these are guys that are going to be hungry. They're going to be excited to work with you, which makes them cheaper. You know, it is a fact. But also, you can't forget that they're going to be as interested in being in your ads and on your channels. They're going to reach a new audience themselves. So it's very much a win-win. But the benefit of using influencers is they bring with them a certain level of trust. They've got their own following. So it's engaging new audiences to your audience. So it's definitely worth exploring. Some other freebie tips. So Google Business Profile. Has everybody here claimed their Google Business Profile? Yeah, claim it, verify it, use it. The number of times I see people that don't have their opening hours on, or they've moved location. I know, I can see you nodding down there. You know, from just, you know, the number of times people don't use a Google profile, and that's the first thing people see when they're looking at your brand. So use it. Actively seek reviews. If you've got 5 gold star reviews, great, but reply to them as well. Because 5 reviews, if you reply, that's 10 comments. You've automatically got more engagement. And also use your SEO. Look at your keywords. So I'm not just talking on your website, I'm talking on your social media. So for a long time, Google and other search engines have indexed YouTube and Facebook. But just this year, they've also started indexing Instagram too. So what that means is that your photos and your videos are discoverable on search engines. It doesn't mean your personal holiday snaps, don't worry, and you can turn this off if you don't want those photos to be found. But it does mean that if you've got a photo that's taken in your gym, you need to have in the caption, you need to have the alt tags, you need to have in the descriptions, photo taken at this gym in Manchester City Centre. You know, let's play the game, because all of that makes you more discoverable. And the last bit, we talked a lot about community and the importance of being real. If you've got members that are doing a 10K, a local Santa run, blog about it, you do videos about it, show their journey, celebrate their success. Because any local community event gets a lot of traction, so it's about being part of that messaging and jumping on the bandwagon and getting that exposure too. And then this is a little bit embarrassing, I've left this to the last point, but websites. It's like they say, all rivers lead to the ocean, all channels, marketing channels, lead to websites. You've got to get your website in order. Your website has got to be fast, it's got to be mobile friendly. 85% of people visit websites on the mobile. So if it looks great on a desktop, but your mobile has got lots of spaces in it and it's clunky, it's not going to work for you. So make sure it's fast loading, make sure it's easy to use with clear call to actions. Simple things, when we look at doing website audits, we sometimes notice that sign-up forms are like way down the bottom. If you have to scroll, people are turned off. Make sure your sign-up forms right there, hits you between the eyes in that first top third of a website. Make sure those social proof, the members, the testimonials are also there as well. It's about pushing people along that customer journey. And that leads me to the card that I've put on everyone's desks. We are offering a free social and digital audit. This isn't a show special, to be honest, it's just how we work. We like to get to know a brand before we work with them. So do reach out to us, connect to us on LinkedIn, drop us an email, follow us on Instagram. If you want a card, there's some down here as well, and we are the big pink tent that literally you can't miss. It's got a giant chicken on it. I said chicken there, I could have said something else, but it has got a giant chicken on it. Do come and have a chat with us. We want to get to know your brands because we love fitness marketing, and ultimately we want to help you guys rule the roost. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. We're not going anywhere. We're going to sit on this because it's actually quite comfy. I've wanted to sit down all day. So if anybody wants to come and have a chat or has got any questions now, then please feel free to ask away.